Today we're going to talk about healthy relationships. Now, anybody entering into a relationship always hopes that their relationship is going to work out well, is going to be healthy. And today we are going to look at some of the markers or some of the indicators that can tell you that your relationship is healthy or is doing well. Now, one, you trust one another. In this relationship, there is trust, and trust simply means that you take one another's word for it. You do not doubt one another, and so trust is one of the indicators that your relationship is doing well. The other one is that you are attracted to one another. Now, being attracted to one another is important because that is usually what brings you together in the first place. Now, when you are in a relationship where you're both attracted to one another, it means that you are now ready and able to explore each other in other areas. So you will find that you're not only attracted to one another physically, but in other areas like intellectually, emotionally, and in all these other areas. But the attraction means that your relationship is ready to grow, so that you will be able now to explore and to get to know one another in other areas. If there is no attraction, you will really not have a relationship, because we get into relationships because first and foremost we are attracted to one another, and so attraction is important, and it doesn't have to be physical. So number 3, you talk to one another. Talking to each other is very important, because without communication, there's really no growth. In a relationship where there is no communication, there's no likelihood of that relationship growing in any way. And so if you really want to know that your relationship is healthy and is most likely going to grow, is that you're able to talk to one another on different issues, whether they are good or bad, whether they are problems, whatever it is, you find it easy to talk to one another. So being able to talk to one another freely and your conversations flow is a good indication that your relationship is healthy. Now, the other indicator or the other area that you can check to see or to tell whether your relationship is healthy is that you have personal freedoms. Personal freedom means that as much as you're in this relationship, each of you is able to grow individually. You're able to develop different interests apart from your partner. That means even if one of you likes going for walks, for instance, or has interest in a different area, the other one may not necessarily have the same kind of interest, but they're still there. They still give you the freedom to pursue your different interests. So you grow as a person, even as you grow as individuals. As couples, as a couple. So you feel free in your relationship to pursue or to grow as a person. And one of the other things that you can look into is how are you free to dress the way you like? Are you free to engage in activities that you enjoy, even if your partner may not necessarily be that interested? So that's what we mean by personal. Your own person. The other factor is that there is respect in this relationship. Respect means that I am free to express my opinions. I am free to express my feelings without feeling that I will be put down, without feeling that my partner will probably look down on me or shut me down. So there is respect, and respect is not just in private, it is also in public, that we respect one another, whether it's just the two of us in a room or we are out in the public. So respect is very important. And when you're talking about respect, I want to bring the other factor about boundaries. Boundaries, that you have personal boundaries and each of you respect each other's boundaries. Now, what does that mean? It means that you're able to develop personal boundaries. So your partner knows I have boundaries around myself as a person, and my partner respects those boundaries. and the same, and vice versa. But there's also the boundaries that we have created as partners or as a couple that protect us from the outside world, or that tell the outside world that as a couple there's some things we do and there's some things we don't do. There's some things we allow into our relationship, and there are some things that we do not allow into our relationship. So it's personal boundaries or individual boundaries, but it's also boundaries as a couple. And then you're also friends. That's another factor. That's another area you need to check to see or to tell whether you have a healthy relationship or you're likely to develop a healthy relationship. Are you friends? Now that means you're not just lovers, for instance. You're friends. You're able to share stories. You're able to express yourselves. You're able to the way friends relate with one another. Can I depend on you as my friend? Can you depend on me? Can you share certain things with me as your friend that you may not necessarily be able to share with someone who is not your friend? So first and foremost, your friends. And it is clear from research that people or couples who start off as friends and then later on get married, they're more likely to have a healthy and happy marriage, other than people who are not friends at all. So friendship is very important as an indicator or as a factor in gauging whether your relationship is healthy or not. Now, accepting one another. Now, what do I mean? Accepting one another means we're not perfect. You as partners in this relationship, none of you is perfect, but you accept one another the way you are. That does not mean that you may not want to grow. So if I have an area of weakness, I strive to grow, but as I am growing, my partner accepts my shortcomings, even as they encourage me to grow. So accepting one another. Now, accepting one another means that I am not trying to change you into something that you're not. And there's a difference between wanting someone to change and encouraging them to change, and also and pushing them to change, or not accepting them. So for instance, if I am, what example can I use? If I struggle with certain habits, for instance, and I'm trying to change, I'm trying to grow out of them, my partner, if he really accepts me, will accept that you have this area of weakness that you're trying to work out or work around, and I'm encouraging you, but you accept me so that when I try and I fail, you're still there for me. So that's accepting. That's accepting. Right? So the other part or the other factor is that you fight fair. Fighting fair means, as we all know, there is no relationship that doesn't have disagreements, arguments, sometimes fights. But how do you fight? How do you fight? Do you fight excuse me, do you fight? Are you attacking the person, or are you looking at the issues that are making you fight? Are you fighting around the issues, or are you fighting the person? There's a difference. So if there's a disagreement about a certain area or a certain issue, then we are focusing on that issue. We're not focusing on individuals, the personalities who are, you're like this or you're not like this. So fighting fair means you're not attacking one another. You're attacking the situation, or you're dealing with the situation or the circumstances that are causing you to have this disagreement rather. Now from that point, we can go to the other factor that flows from that, and that is you don't keep grudges. You don't keep grudges. So when you fight or you agree to disagree, then you move on. Now, people who keep grudges will not forget. And so why that is not good is that the next time you have a disagreement or an argument, you pull out from the past these other issues that you've discussed or you fought about. And that means you're not letting go. Now, what that means is that you will never really move forward, because if we fight about an issue today, and we agree, okay, so we've resolved this one, or we've agreed to disagree, so can we move on? If one partner moves on or believes they have left that behind. But the next time they have an argument, the other partner now brings that and says, even the other time you were saying this, you did this. So your focus now is not even on the current issue. Your focus now goes back to the past. And therefore, you will never really resolve much. And that can indicate that you're really not moving forward. But if both of you are able to fight fair, agree to disagree, or resolve the issue, then you move on. Meaning, the next issue that comes along and causes you to have a disagreement or an argument, you are now just dealing with that, and you're able to move forward. So that's a good sign, and it's a sign that your relationship is growing and it's healthy. Now, the other indicator is planning together. You are planning together. There are some couples that, or some partners in a relationship where everybody does their own things. Each partner is planning their own things, their path, their journey from here. Next year I'll be here, I'll do this and this. And such relationships may not really last that long. But if you want to know that your relationship is likely to grow and is healthy, is in a good place, is that you have a habit of planning together. Now, planning together means that you're able to come together, and it goes back to the point we talked about of you are able to talk to one another, because that means then that you're able to plan your way ahead. You're able to come together and agree, this is where we are now. Where are we going? What do we need to do? What are the strategies we need to put in place so that we are able to move together and grow together? So planning together, being able to plan together easily and smoothly and without one coercing the other or one pressuring the other, that's a good sign. So planning together is key. The other one is having fun together. Having fun together means that you're not just there. You're not just together for the sake of being together. You're able to have fun together. And having fun together means sometimes you're able to laugh at yourselves. You're able to look back at some of your, mistakes and disagreements and struggles and good times and bad times, and still have fun together. You're able to laugh together. You're able to enjoy activities together. You're able to agree on next month we need to go somewhere, and you're able to have fun together. Because when you have fun together, first of all, that's a clear indication that you're good friends and that you're able to communicate. You're able to talk freely, and none of you feels disrespected or devalued. So being able to have fun together is very, very important. And it's also a clear indication that you guys are okay. Now, the other one is being able to understand. And this comes with time. Understanding one another's love language. Now, that means each of us has a love language. Each of us has a way in which we like or we prefer being loved. And I'll give you an example. For me, I enjoy receiving gifts. It's an indication that someone cares about me. And I love it, I enjoy it. And when we got married, I used to give my husband gifts a lot. I used to, like, if I see something that I think I like and I know it will look good on him, I would buy and I would take it home. And I never used to understand why he never really used to get excited about it. I remember some of those gifts he would take forever before he even unwraps them or even uses them. And that used to really get to me. Until I learned that for him, receiving gifts is not really an indicator to him that I love him or that he's loved. He has a totally different love language. And people have different love languages. One of the other love languages is, there are some people who prefer words of affirmation. Like, they just like hearing their partner affirming them, telling them, you're a good partner, you're a good friend, I like the way you care about me, I like the way you're hardworking. Those work for them. And there are others actually who like physical touch. Physical touch means things like just a hug. A hug for them is everything. Some of you like me, receiving gifts is a good thing. You love it, you enjoy it. And as much as none of us is just, it may not just be one. It may be a combination of several love languages, but there's a predominant one. Now, what we are saying is, if you understand your own love language and you understand your partner's love language, is important, because what happens is that we tend to love other people the way we prefer being loved. So I was giving my husband gifts because that's my love language. That's what I like. And so I thought, or I imagined, that that's his love language. So because we love the way we prefer being loved, we may miss it. And so, but if I understand that my husband's love language is quality time together, he likes us spending time together, that will mean then that I set aside enough time for us to just be together and just spend that time together, because that speaks to him. And when he learned that this is my love language, then he will love me the way I prefer being loved. And so once you have that clear understanding between the two of you, it will be easy and it will not be a struggle anymore. And you will not misunderstand one another. You will not wonder, why do I do this and the person doesn't respond? So learning and understanding one another's love language is very, very important, and it will help you to grow as a couple, and it will help you strengthen and your relationship and make it healthier as you grow. And so what are we saying? Of course, there are many other factors that can indicate that your relationship is healthy. For instance, if you communicate very well, and communicating is not just words. There is a way that you have a very effective way of communicating together that works for you, or you have a way of resolving conflicts between the two of you that works very well for you. And so each of us need to understand, what is it that, first of all, do I even want a healthy relationship? Of course, that's like a funny question, but you have to understand that you have to work at it. You have to work at making your relationship healthy, because it is only healthy relationships that are going to grow, and that are going to grow and take you further than where you were. And so today I wanted us to look a little bit about some of those factors. We have by no means exhausted them, but just reflect on your own life. Look at what you have. Look at some of the areas maybe you can work on. Look at some of the areas that are already good and keep to strengthen them. And hopefully you will grow healthy as you grow older, as you grow together. And that is our wish for you. Hope you have learned something today. And if you're new to our channel, I would like you to subscribe and to turn on the notification bell so that you will be the first person to receive our updates. Don't forget to like, share, and also comment so that we are able to get some feedback from you. And also you can suggest some of the topics that you would like us to look into, to talk about. So if you just let us know some of the areas of interest that you would be interested, we will make sure that we get back to you. Follow us on Instagram at Regenerate Consultancy for you to be able to get our updates.